Thank you. It's first time on stage, and I thought I'd be terrified, but you're not at all scared. So, I moved to New Plymouth about 6 months ago with a hope of becoming a poet, and now I am one. So I'd like to start from a little children's book. It's called The Tale of 10 Farmers. There were 10 farmers who each had a field, same size and shape and place and yield. They all getting tired and grumpy and old, and decided one day they wanted them sold. So they called up a man to find out the worth of the flat and square and green piece of earth. The man came along and gave them a price. Now tidy them up was his best advice. So they did as he asked and dug as were told, and looked forward to the day when soon they'd be sold. They put up the signs and cut all the straw, put ads in the papers and billboards and more. In no time at all, so many came, but they were so confused, they all looked the same. Oh bother, oh flip, which should we buy? There's no one really catches our eye. Farmer Bill was a bit smarter than the rest, and wished his land to look the best. So he planted a flower, and that night it grew. The very next day, other farmers did too. So Bill did till and Bill did toil, and planted seeds all through his soil. The others now are wise to his scheme. In no time at all they mimicked his theme. And once again poor old Bill's plan had failed. So one night he bought windows and doors and nails and wood and glass and screws and glue and some tea bags and biscuits, of course. And he nailed and nailed and nailed. When the farmers awoke from counting the sheep, they saw a town and started to weep. And they wailed and wailed and wailed. But once their tears had stopped their flow, they all bought a hammer and started to grow. A city. What a pity. Once again the people drove by for a piece of land to live and then die. But they all still looked drab and all the same way. And all the people decided not to pay. Bill tossed and turned and sighed and cried, and sadly still he couldn't decide what to do. Then one night as he lay in his bed, a little thought popped into his head. He jumped up excited straight away, and when others awoke the very next day, they saw a stick with a sold sign sitting on Bill's land. How grand. So what do you think Bill's cunning plan might have been? He tore down his buildings and concrete too, and in its place, one flower now grew. Thank you.